Hello, welcome and welcome back, everyone. I'm Candy Farrell. Welcome to Planet Candy. Today, we're going to continue with the series of reintroducing role reversal, turn pain into power. This is actually my second book that we're talking about. The first week, we discussed how do you treat God. The second part was how do you treat yourself. And now today we're talking about will you grow flowers or will you grow weeds? And that actually comes from another poet, Wordsworth. And it's actually a sign that I have in my place. One of the first things you see when you come into my place. And the sign says, your mind is a garden, your thoughts are the seeds. You can grow flowers or you can grow weeds. And so I pose the question again. Will you grow flowers or will you grow weeds? And I emphasize the will part because it is truly up to you what you decide to grow. Now you probably probably thinking, who wouldn't want to grow flowers instead of weeds? Of course, people want to grow flowers. You know, they're beautiful. You know, they have value. Weeds just choke out all of the value in your garden. From what I understand, I'm not a horticulturalist or anything, but I think I know a little bit about that. But anyway, will you grow flowers or will you grow weeds? And a lot of people, again, would say, I of course want to grow flowers. But it's not easy. It's not as easy for some people as it is for others. Some people's mindsets, negative mindsets, are so deeply ingrained, they don't even realize they have them. So I'm going to read a poem from you from my book here. And this poem is called Children of the Pipe, and it's just to illustrate an extremity when it comes to the negative thought process. Again, this poem is called Children of the Pipe. When the parent first smokes rock, it is a choice that was made. It is an option that addiction quickly snatches away. This choice affects their love, how they are able to give or receive. It influences each and every aspect of their baby's basic needs, weighing down heavily on their child's hopes and dreams, if they ever even develop any. Parental addiction has soul-changing effects. This child becomes fearful of what's coming next. It plagues the growth of reasoning, how to define the worst from the best. It promotes it as normal, the constant struggle for less. Sometimes these children build unhealthy walls needed to protect their heart from rock's far-reaching claws. And the rock, it is insatiable. It wants everything. Competing with the rock for love and attention, these children adapt to losing, not winning. In a constant state of suspicions of others' intentions, these children see things they dare never mention. Rock pushes the worst of the past over the legacy of the future. The myth of unconditional love seems cruel and elusive. Many times curious kids follow those laid open tracks, wondering what this drug has that they obviously lack. Sometimes they just hope to bring their lost parent back, but mercy is never granted by Satan's soldier crack. Children of the pipe, they do survive. I've seen so for myself with my very own eyes. What I still and have yet to surmise is why should a child pay such a price? So that was an extreme example of how negative influences can affect even our adult thought process. Now, I talk about drugs, but there are all other types of negative things that go on in households, from gambling to abuse. Sometimes a thing may not necessarily in itself be negative, like maybe the promotion of achievement, but when kids are driven to achieve in such a manner that it affects their self-esteem, when they're overly driven to achieve, it may affect their self-esteem. So that's a positive thing taken into a negative. That's a positive thing that's being made negative just because of how it was handled. So there are all types of ways that negative childhood influences can affect our mind process, and we end up growing those weeds instead of growing flowers. Now, The point I want to make to you is, will you grow flowers or will you grow weeds? At a certain point, it doesn't matter what mommy or daddy did. At a certain point, it becomes up to you what you're going to do with your life, how you're going to think, what your thought process are going to be. It's up to you whether you grow flowers or whether you grow weeds. So I talk a lot about going back and introspection and finding those negative points, negative turning points in our life so we can weed them out. It is truly up to you whether you do that or not. And I always say it, you are worth the work whether you know it or not. So I'm going to leave you with one last poem. This poem is called The Deciding Factor because, again, you have to decide. And what will you decide? Will you decide to grow flowers or will you decide to grow weeds? And what is going to be that deciding factor that pushes you towards growing those flowers? Now, change is not an easy process, but you are worth the work. Okay, so this is the deciding factor. Away must go my vice. On this day do I decide. No longer its causes and effects am I able to easily hide. I must pull out some of these skeletons from inside my crowded closet. I need feature only myself as my most capable runaway partner. I ran from my demons. They were most gruesome and dark. I planned to run all my life, but finally I was caught. Owning yourself isn't always easy. It can be a gut-wrenching task. But the realities of my antidotes place my dreams under attack. I don't know how I'm going to do it because today is only day one. But I know nothing will compare to the feeling when I'm done. I don't know how it will happen, but I know it will occur. It's no longer up for debate. I've given my soul my word. I'm setting this thing aside, called my foolish pride, because I learned when I flee from myself, my destiny also hides. I fled in the bottle, fleeing from my anger. I fled in the water to make my heart a stranger. I fled in the plate to over 300 pounds. I fled with a bitter tongue, assaulting with nasty rounds. It's been on my mind for quite some time, this self-sabotage of my own pursuits. I wasn't just enjoying these things that were downright and often abused. I can't catch hold of my blessings if my soul is caught and bound. Why surrender to the past when my best is yet to be found? So I've decided most absolutely certain patterns must become obsolete. Actions must speak louder than words if my dreams and destiny are to meet. It may only be day one, but at least it's a beginning. Got to take that first step sometime to reach my desired ending. Again, that was The Deciding Factor from my book, Role Reversal, Turn Pain into Power. And think about that, folks. Will you grow flowers or will you grow weeds? It is up to you. Change is not always easy, but you're worth the work. So thank y'all for joining me. Again, I'm Candy Farrell. I'm an independent artist, so if you enjoyed my work, you can show me some free love by subscribing to this page or sharing me on social media or reviewing some of my work. My books are also for sale on this site and also on Amazon.com. So again, thank you for joining me. In the meantime, everybody have a great week or two. Be blessed and be a blessing. Thank you.